On YouTube as a whole, especially in America, if you want to do really well for a US audience, you actually have to make longer content. And I made a little bit of money, and then I told her I had straight zeros, and then she cried, and I moved out. But then a couple months later, the channel took off, and she was like, oh, this is cool.
We're looking at a lot of greatest of all times.
Almost a global attention deficit disorder that we all have.
Yep.
And this requirement that we're captured by this sort of hook. And then we can only really watch for a certain amount of time, and a couple of things have to happen quickly in a way that is so different than the way I grew up, where I would watch a 2-hour movie and be happy to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the next generation is.
That's what it felt like for a while, but what's pretty interesting is obviously it just depends on what app. If you're on TikTok, of course, it's just crack cocaine. But on YouTube as a whole, especially in America, the average video links that do well are actually getting longer because over 50% of watch time's on television. And so right now, if you want to do really well for a US audience, you actually have to make longer content. Like our videos used to be 12, 15 minutes. Now they're closer to 25, 30. I mean, it's obviously depends on parts of the world and stuff, but agreed. In general, yes, people's attention span are, a lot shorter.
So when did you know this could be a business?
I mean, I guess it doesn't, just like anything, it doesn't just hit you one day. You just are, I've been doing it for 16 years now, so you just, slowly grow. And we've grown every year since I was 11. It was much easier back then, but it just, kind of happens in stages. I think the bigger thing for me is I just try to be very intentional with, you can, if, when you're on TikTok, if you see something you don't want to see more of, you can tell it not to recommend it. So I try to trick my algorithms into, like my YouTube homepage is just a bunch of educational content. Like this morning I watched a video on how trees grow and the different layers of it. Which you can curate your feed where it actually is beneficial, but it takes a lot of effort, so.
But I think you have curated your feed, and most of the things that you do try to be positive. Am I right?
Yes, on our channel, exactly, because obviously we're getting a lot of attention and viewership, so obviously we should do it to inspire people to do good.
Well, let me ask you just one other thing then about kids. And my kids, I don't know if my kids are here. I think they are somewhere. Jonathan Haidt, I don't know if you know Jonathan, has written a book. He says that kids shouldn't have smartphones until high school and has been warning around the country about the impact of social media on kids' brain. So given what you do for a living now, the success you had touching social media at a very early age, but also I think recognizing many of these issues, you don't have kids yet of your own. How do you think about that?
I think it does depend what platform, because YouTube is a lot, for lack of better words, a lot less brain rot than theoretically TikTok, and there is a lot more educational content and on it.
Currently has a valuation of $5.2 billion, is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. You want to have an IPO at some point, I imagine?
At some point, we want to be able to give the 1.4 billion unique people around the world who has watched Jimmy's content in the last 90 days a chance to be owners of the company.
How did you guys meet? How does this relationship
They kind of look alike.
Yeah.
You said he basically gives you vacation time, but you're the...
Yeah, I give him tons of time off, right?
You give him tons of time off, or he gives you tons of time off?
We've been together 18 months, and I've taken 3 days off, and he's taken 3 days off.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Not bad.
It was better than
We have a philosophy of it ends in why it's a work day. But we met one of the investors, introduced us, and I did a 60-minute Zoom with Jimmy, and he had just landed from doing a charitable project in Kenya, and he was in a Walmart. And he's being flash mobbed in a Walmart while he's restocking our chocolate Feastables because he has such a high bar for customers that he didn't like how it was displayed in the Walmart. So after 60 minutes, he says to me, bro, for 55, you're not so cringe. You want to hang out? And here we are.
Here we are.
Do you feel like you have a whole new lexicon now?
He calls me cringe daddy sometimes.
Cringe daddy.
I know.
So walk through, but...
Did we have to invite him up? He's much better at business than jokes, I promise. I promise.
At the beginning of this interview, I asked you about how your mother thought about you doing all of this, and you said she's cool with it now. She now works for you.
Yeah.
So what does she do for you?
I don't know. She's sitting over there. What do you do?
Mom's here?
Yeah, she wanted
I didn't
to hang
realize
out.
that Mom's here.
Yeah, there she is, front row.
So what do you think of all of this?
She said it's great. I remember it was, you should ask her. She was like, go to college or move out. And I didn't have enough money to move out because no one was watching the videos. So it was a community college. It's not like we could afford a real college. But so I would act like I was going to college.
You would,
and then,
hold on, you would act like you were going to
yeah, so
college?
I'd get in my car and drive, and then I'd just work on videos in the car, and then I'd come home. I'd be like, yeah, I went to class. And I was like, I just hope they don't, I also changed the phone number so they wouldn't call her and they would just call me. And I was like, so I probably have like 3 or 4 months before she'll find out I have straight zeros. And then I counted to 100,000. So I literally counted 1, 2, 3, 4. I counted for 40 hours straight, which was one of the first videos that blew up because the whole world was like, what an idiot, why did he do that? But it got attention and I made a little bit of money. And then I told her I had straight zeros and then she cried and I moved out. But then a couple months later, the channel took off and she was like, oh, this is cool.
And then to continue the story, he was making enough money from YouTube that he was making more than his mom.
Yes.
And so
that's when it really clicked in her head.
Yeah. And then
like, oh, okay, you're not gonna be homeless, I'm good.
And then at some point he said, Mom, I have enough money I could pay you, come join me. And that's the story.
Yeah.
Okay, so my mom's still in charge of me. Who's in charge here? Are you in charge or
no,
are you in charge?
Jeff is definitely in charge. He tells me what to
We play good cop, bad cop. He has no idea
do.
how much
Sometimes he
we
forgets
text.
he works for me.
MrBeast, Jimmy, Jeff, thank you for the
Thank you.
conversation. Appreciate it very, very much. Thank you.
You know, Mr. Beast, love him or hate him, the guy is definitely a savant when it comes to a lot of these things.
Talk show.